Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to improve the look of your HTML buttons using CSS. First of all, here's the default button right here. It might be different for you based on your operating system. To create a button in HTML, just use the button tag. But our button here looks pretty boring, doesn't it? Well, as you've probably seen, most websites have more interesting buttons. Buttons can come in different shapes, sizes, and colors, and some are even animated. So, how do we turn a button from this to something more like this? Well, the answer is to use CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It's mainly used to style HTML documents. There are different ways to use CSS in a document. The first way is called external CSS, which is when you write the CSS code in a separate document and reference it in an HTML document. Another way is internal CSS, which is when you write the CSS in the style tag in the head section of a document. Or you can use inline CSS, which is when you write the style for a single element in the style attribute of that element. In this video, I'm going to use internal CSS, so let's get started. First of all, create a document and type in the basic HTML structure. Now create a button using the button tag. It looks pretty bad, doesn't it? So, go to the head section and type in the style tag. Inside it, we'll write our CSS. So first, let's try changing the background color of the button. Use the background color property and set the value to a color of your choice to do it. I'm going to use a lovely shade of lavender here. Okay, looks better, but not that good. Let's try changing the color of the text on the button. To do that, use the color property and again set the value to a color of your choice. I'm going to set it to black. Okay, it doesn't really look much different, does it? Let's try removing that border. To do that, just use the border property and set the value to none. Okay, much better, but not really good. So let's fix that problem by using the padding property. Set the value according to your choice. I'm going to use 16 pixels here. If you write 4 values, it means that the paddings will be applied in the order of top, right, bottom, and left. If you use 3 values, it means that the paddings will be applied in the order of top, right and left, bottom. If you use only 2 values, it means that the first value will apply to the top and bottom paddings, and the second value will apply to the right and left paddings. Okay, our button looks perfect now. Okay everybody, that is it for today's video. Of course, there are many more things you can do. If you want to, you can set the cursor to a pointer, or instead of removing the border like we did earlier, you can specify the style, the size, the color, and you can do a lot more than that. But I'm not going to go into detail about any of those in this video. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!